Hey guys, this is Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. Can we just acknowledge that sound? In my son's words, it's satisfying. Today I am doing phase 2 of my back Florida room. I am installing a misting system, attaching it to the irrigation so when the sprinklers come on, my plants get misted. Now I'm not doing the misting around the entire perimeter. I'm only doing from one door to the other so I could leave the living area open. I thought I could install the entire 75 feet of misters in one day, but it turned out to be actually a 3-day project. This is about the time I realized I don't think I'm finishing this project in one day. And then of course a little music to keep the momentum going. So I changed my focus. I had to install an extender to go to the sprinkler system, but it was too big. So I had to saw the tip off so it could be a little shorter. This sprinkler head actually wasn't being used because it ended up being right where the door was, and it just made a big mess. This piece right here is the piece that I got that connects the mister to the new extender, and it actually is a perfect fit. And I actually went to the store twice looking for that piece. So finally, it's connected. I forgot to put the concrete around it to protect it just from getting run over by the lawnmower. And then I realized the door runs into it. So I found the long stick from an old broom. There it is. Trying to put the stick in the ground. My thought process was that if the stick is in there when the door opens, it'll hit the stick instead of hitting the extender I just attached. So now I began what appears to be the second day of installation. This is actually day 3. The second day, there was a little frog and he just refused to move. And it was exactly where I was working, so the frog single-handedly stopped production. So here we are, day 3. You can't really tell, but this was the first time that the Chihuahua and the Golden Retriever played fetch together. So kids were quite excited. typically they just ignore each other or bother each other. And some more dancing. I'm trying to convince my daughter to invent something to connect to the last mister, maybe a bottle of water upside down, so it could mist in there and then go to a bowl so that the animals can always have fresh water. The thing about starting a project like this is I can't just stop halfway and give up. This angle, this piece was not trying to go. It must have taken me 30 minutes. And I had just gotten the hang of everything. Everything was going smoothly. I'm going on day 3 and it just was giving me a really hard time. But, I mean, I had to get it eventually. Here's my well. I have 4 stations or 4 channels. I connected it to station 2, which is the irrigation in the back, right there. And now I'm gonna go test out the sprinklers or the misting system, see if it's effective, if I need to adjust anything, if there's any leaks. It's a 20-gallon reserve. Here's my little shed. So I just turned on the sprinklers to see if my misters are going to start working. I see water falling. This is very exciting. It's actually working. Everything is misting. That's the plug. I need to put it away from the sprinkler head that I'm using. So everything seems to be working just fine. I just need to move some plants around and maybe adjust so it could come out and water all my plants. Here's the next part of phase 2, painting this hideous wall. So here it is, the patio. I've been working on it. I got it cleaned up. My misting system is installed to the irrigation, so anytime zone 2 goes on, my plants would get watered. I've moved some plants around so they are strategically placed right where the mister is hitting them. They seem to be loving it so far. We're only on a couple of days, so far, so good. I put the last mister system inside the table and so I can create the concoction to feed the pets. And here it is, the next project, painting this wall, giving it a fresh coat. So obviously before painting, I need to clean up all the dust and all the dirt and all the dog hair and just get this area ready for painting. Right now it's just not anywhere close. So I'm gonna start by blowing out all the air, blowing out the dirt, blowing off the walls, just getting it as clear from dust as possible. I love this blower. I knew when I bought this that I was going to use it frequently. So now that I swept and I used the blower, I'm now going to go through with the hose, but I'm not using the well water hose because it I don't know, it like has dirt in it and particles from the earth. So I'm just using the regular water, just trying to get this area cleared out yet again and preparing it for paint. Since I have the water out, I might as well saturate my plants. They are getting misted daily. They're on day 2. But the water's out and I might as well give them a little loving. They're so happy right now. I've been collecting these plants for some years now and they seem to be doing very well. I just constantly take pictures and water them, and I only do this once a week though because I do work and they're fine on that schedule. They seem to be very happy. If anyone is trying to grow orchids, my biggest suggestion is they do not like to be lonely. Orchids like friends. They like other orchids. They like companion. They like other plants that they could reach and wrap around. So if you're not having any luck with your orchids, take a look at it, see if it's one single lonely orchid. If that's the case, you have to bring in some more plants and surround it. Once that happens, they kind of just take off, and I let them fall organically, lean on each other, and they seem to be doing excellent. Is it weird that I remember where each and every single one of these orchids came from? Just wait until you see the flower of this orchid. I don't know what it's called, monkey something. It's the most exotic thing I've ever seen. I've had this for over a year. It still has not produced a flower, but I rescued it from near death. So far it seems happy. I am eager. Hopefully next season it'll produce a flower. Those are some lifesavers. The orchids seem to like those in the pots. I don't know why. They wrap their roots around them. And the lifesavers seem to be doing fine as well. So pretty. This is an air plant that has gone through some trauma. I left it out once by accident in the sun. When I brought it back, I mean, I thought it was gone, but it came back. There it is, the hideous wall. So naturally, I'm gonna start by cleaning around the perimeter of everything. I know I just hosed it down, but some things just need a little elbow grease. So I'm cleaning not the entire patio, but just around the wall. You could see that there's paint chipping. There's some of this stuff just overflowing. I'm cutting the excess. I'm sawing it away. I don't want to pull it out because I do like what it's doing, which is clogging some holes. But it doesn't need to be sticking out like that. So I'm just trying to clean it up a little so I can get a nice smooth surface, so I can start painting. And this is all prep work, just to paint. So on the other side of this wall is my laundry room. That's why there's the dryer vent there and all those wires and all those tubes. That's for the water and the electricity. So I'm just trying to get this wall picked up. I feel like it's not healthy right now. There's holes, cracks that lead into the house. There's things coming out of it. The paint is chipping. So I'm just trying to get it completely prepped so I could do a nice few coats of paint. And I don't know, I feel like the house needs this. The house needs the love, and it needs the cracks to be covered and the paint chipping, and it just needs to be cleaned. And this is my way of taking care of it. I mean, this is what I'm doing, the best I could do. Trimming takes the longest. Prepping takes the longest. The painting itself, that's an easy job. But now that I got everything cleaned up and I got a nice smooth surface, I'm gonna start the prep work, which is the trim work. I have lots of obstacles, lots of cracks in this wall. You can't just roll over with a paintbrush. It won't, or with a roller, it won't reach. So there's lots of prep work just to get this wall ready. And then of course, because it's such a exterior wall and such a dark color, I'm gonna have to do at least 2 layers of paint, including the trim work. Here I go again, wishing I could do things at this speed. This is fantastic. You could actually see the progress. When you're painting, I could see the progress, but it takes so much longer, and at this fast speed, I love it. So even if I could just motivate one person to just get started, even if you don't know what you're doing, just get up, start picking up, start cleaning one little thing at a time. Next thing you know, you can transform an entire room by yourself. There's no need to wait or no need to spend lots of money. It just takes time and energy. That's all it takes. It's so relaxing to beautify my house, fix imperfections, think about positive things. There's a lot happening right now in this world, and picking a project and sticking to it and making it happen, it really helps the situation. It diverts the attention away from all the negativity, and I don't know, it gives me something positive to think about and something to involve and invest my energy in other than the negativity that we're surrounded by. So I just really enjoy these projects, and I enjoy seeing the before and after, and I enjoy seeing the final product. I think seeing my children and family enjoy this space is what it's all about for me. So as you could tell, I'm not using any tape. I used to tape and spend a lot of time doing that, but I realized if you just take your time and you have a smooth hand and you have a time to do a base and then another coat on top, it comes out just as nice. The main thing is making sure that you have a wet rag handy. So if you do get out of the line, you could clean it immediately and it wipes right off. It just needs to happen right away. So for this wall, I actually have 3 different brushes that I'm using. I have my trim brush, which I'm being very cautious about. I'm trying to make sure I make a straight line by going all the way down. I take my time doing this. I also use a roller for exterior walls, so it's meant to get that thick coat of paint. And then I have a smaller roller for trimming, which I use to do a second coat over the door, any trimming, the perimeter. And this can only be done after it's completely cleaned and prepped up. I like seeing the progression in the videos because you could get a sense of how long each project takes. Because I start off in the day and I end up when the sun is going down. I'm waiting on phase 3 to install ceiling fans and the couch. And then phase 4, I would like to install windows and a sliding door. So right now, I'm just working on phase 2, painting and misters. So now that I trimmed the lower half anywhere that I could reach, I'm going to trim the top. And again, I'm trying to be very careful to take my time, make that smooth, steady line. I keep having to stop to clean any areas that I accidentally got. I need to get all these cracks because the roller won't get them. And the wall is actually a lot bigger than it looks. Or at least it took a lot longer than expected. So here it is. Steady line. No tape needed. And I'll show you guys how it came out up close. It's happening. The trim is almost done. It's a really beautiful day out today. Actually, it's always beautiful outside. Even when it rains, it's still beautiful. The sun is still shining. It's when the rainbows come out. I'm trying to make sure I go over the trim twice because I am doing 2 coats of this paint. One is not enough, so this door is made out of wood and it's textured and it's old and it's heavy. So this door needs a lot of loving. So I'm going through everything twice because I already know it's gonna need it. And I like to let the first layer dry before I go through with the second layer. So I noticed that all these tubings that lead from the inside of the house to the outside have like cracks around it. Not cracks, but wherever the tube is. So I was trying to gunk it with as much paint as I could to kind of clog it, stop, ants from getting in or whatever. So I was just throwing a lot of paint in this corner where it meets the exterior, just making sure all those areas were completely covered in paint. Now that it's a nice and smooth wall. I forgot to mention, I wrapped the door handle, the light switch, the doorknob with aluminum foil. It just makes it a lot easier so you don't have to remove it. You could just wrap it with aluminum foil, paint around it. You don't have to be as careful. And when it's dry, then take the foil off. Just makes it a lot easier, a lot more convenient. I can't believe it, I'm almost done with trim. I think I am done. I did 2 layers, the border, the perimeter, all the cracks. I filled in the holes, the peeling paint. I think it's almost ready for actual painting. This is the easy part. Look at that, straight line. I should have zoomed it in more so you guys could see the straight line and how I covered the holes between the vent and the exterior. I even painted around the vent. I even painted that foam just to get it one solid color. It's really nice out today. So painting's the easy part. Here it is. I'm doing the first layer. As soon as I'm done with that, and as soon as it dries, then I'll put the second coat. But I could already tell that it's drying quickly. So this paint job is only a 1 day. It is tiring, but it's okay. Here I go. It's only a 1 day job. It's all about the prep work, The paint color, it's kind of irrelevant because I'm gonna cover that entire wall in order to put the projector TV. It's gonna project onto this wall. But I still wanted to protect my house, and I just didn't want to cover up the wall knowing there was cracks and peeling paint and it was dirty. So now I feel better. I feel like my house needed it. Now I could cover this wall. I'm not sure with what, but I probably have to get rid of that lamp and then connect the projector so we could watch TV on this entire wall. The reason it's a one-day job is because there's no need to buy more rollers. One roller will do it all. You just can't let it dry, which is why I use 3 different sizes. Finally, I'm starting to see hope. I'm starting my second layer, making sure that that wall, look at my straight lines. So I'm gonna start the little brush, the little roller. Now I did the trim, I did the roller. As soon as I finish, then I'm gonna use the little roller and go through the trimming again. This corner the paint was peeling, so I'm trying to make it really thick in there. Not really sure, I just wanted to cover it up. So I'm focusing on that second layer, making sure I'm not missing any areas, making sure the previous color isn't bleeding through. I guess I used it as a primer and the paint. Some more music. Here's where that little brush comes in handy. I already did the trimming around, and of course my dog trying to lay on my wet paint. And he did. By the end of the day, he was covered in paint. This door is gonna need more than one coat, I could already tell. The good thing about doing a coat and letting it dry is you could see the imperfections and you could see where you need more paint. I was able to see that in the trimming I missed 2 layers, so I had to go back with the little roller The inside of my door had a bunch of cracks, so I made sure to get that. Because everything was covered in foil, I didn't have to be too cautious, and then I easily just wiped away what got on the stainless steel lock so that the door could open and close smoothly when I'm done. Now that that second coat is going on, it's looking and feeling like I'm almost done. I see that there's a couple of places in the trimming I missed, so I'm just going over it with a little roller and trying to make sure I get the perimeter real good. My dog keeps going in and out. But he's not stepping on the wet paint, so that's good. I always make sure that I save some paint too. I make sure not to use it all. And the reason I do this is if I miss the spot or I want to do touch-up paint or something happens to the wall and I can just repaint it. I always save it, but typically what ends up happening is I'll just paint the whole wall all over again, a whole nother color. Hopefully this time it could stay this color since I'm going to cover the entire wall. I think it'll be fine. Here it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed. There's my son looking at the paint. There's my beautiful flowers. My misters are installed and working properly, adjusted. Thank you guys for watching. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope I can motivate someone to just get started. Here it is, the final product. Thanks, guys. I leave you with flowers. This is the frog that stopped production day 2. Stay tuned next week. I will be potting these faces from Sassy Soul Sisters. Goodbye.